Several new developments in South suburban Dolton today. First, the state comptroller has suspended some payments to the village because it has failed to follow the law by providing financial reports.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Tiffany Henyard, the so-called super mayor of Dolton, has sparked a whirlwind of controversy that's shaking the very foundation of local governance. Accusations of turning the police into her personal enforcers, lavish spending while the town sinks into debt, and even an FBI investigation loom over her. With tensions rising and council members fearing arrest, the question on everyone's lips is, has Henyard crossed the line from mayor to dictator? As her campaign unfolds amid growing scrutiny, will she face the consequences of her actions? Or will she continue to wield her power unchecked? Hey guys, I am Olivia. Welcome to Red Rumbles. Today, we're spotlighting a local figure stirring up more than just headlines in Dolton, Illinois. Meet Tiffany Henyard, the so-called super mayor, whose controversial actions have turned the town upside down. With accusations of misuse of power, questionable spending habits, and reports of targeting her critics, the drama is escalating. Are her decisions in the best interest of the community, or simply a power play? Stick around to find out, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on this unfolding story. In 2021, Tiffany Henyard stepped into office as the newly elected mayor of Dolton, a suburban town just outside of Chicago. She presented herself as a breath of fresh air, someone committed to change, and the community looked to her with hope. But as time went on, Henyard's reign became anything but ordinary. She declared herself super mayor, a title that would soon come to embody more than just ambition. Critics say she's moved beyond just being a local leader, transforming her role into something much closer to an all-powerful figurehead in Dolton.
I am about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments, there will be anything, it'll just be me addressing you guys to tell you what's going on.
Tiffany Henyard making a late appearance at the Dolton Village Board meeting this evening. That meeting was being held at the Park District building since Village Hall cannot legally accommodate the crowds at a typical meeting.
What began as a promise to help Dolton grow and evolve has taken several unexpected turns. Instead of seeing much-needed improvements, residents have been left questioning Henyard's methods, her spending, and her impact on the town's resources. As more people started paying attention, Henyard's decisions drew an outpouring of criticism, and questions around her spending, leadership style, and even law enforcement tactics began surfacing. Let's unpack these controversies one by one. One of the biggest red flags came in the form of Henyard's spending habits. Under her leadership, Dolton's financial situation has reportedly taken a serious hit. A report led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot uncovered alarming details about the town's budget. Dolton's general fund balance, once a comfortable $561,000, had plummeted to a staggering deficit of $365,000 by May 2024. So, where did all that money go? According to Lightfoot's report, Henyard used Dolton's credit cards to make high-dollar purchases at places like Amazon, Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair. One single day on Amazon reportedly racked up a $43,000 charge. And these weren't isolated incidents. Purchases kept coming, with transactions on the same day totaling thousands more. As Lightfoot dug further, the findings showed Henyard wasn't just shopping.
I'm a private investigator. I've got this envelope that says super mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois.
She was allegedly spending on luxury. Then came the travel expenses. Village records show that Henyard and her staff took trips to cities like New York, Atlanta, and Portland, complete with first-class flights and high-end hotel stays. In Atlanta, she reportedly stayed at the Four Seasons, costing taxpayers around $9,000, while in New York, a stay at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square came to nearly $13,000. For Dolton residents who were already feeling the pinch, these expenses stung. Many asked, how does any of this benefit Dolton? Henyard's financial moves were one thing, But her reported control over Dolton's police force has stirred up even more criticism. She's been accused of using the town's law enforcement as a personal security team. Reports surfaced that Henyard's critics, including some members of the Dolton City Council, were being monitored by police officers. The former Dolton police chief, Robert Collins, even claimed that Henyard once requested that he target certain people on her behalf. And then there was the police entourage. Witnesses at town hall meetings describe a scene where Henyard would walk in flanked by officers, allegedly instructing them to watch council members who opposed her. Some council members claim they've been followed around town by officers, something that has led them to feel intimidated and pressure to stay silent. But Henyard didn't stop there. She hinted in a Facebook Live video that she might press charges against certain council members, claiming they were part of a conspiracy to grab money. Henyard's critics argue these tactics amount to an abuse of power, while her supporters claim she's simply protecting herself from political enemies. Regardless of which side you're on, there's no denying the atmosphere of fear and tension that has settled over Dolton. For many Dolton residents, these issues are more than just political theater. They're a direct threat to the town's future. Several community members, including trustees and senior citizens, have publicly voiced their frustration, saying they feel neglected and betrayed. Longtime residents have watched their town fall deeper into debt while their leader lives large. Trustee Tammy Brown, one of Henyard's vocal critics, has even called for a complete overhaul of Dolton's leadership in the next election, urging the town to clean house to bring stability back. This frustration has given rise to town hall meetings where residents and council members alike demand answers. Andrea McKay, a local resident, expressed the sentiments of many by saying, "We have senior citizens who can't even afford basic necessities, and we're seeing our tax dollars being spent on luxury." For residents like McKay, Henyard's lavish spending represents a major disconnect between Dolton's leadership and the people it serves. Henyard's reach doesn't end with Dolton. As the supervisor of Thornton Township, she's extended her influence and, some say, her spending habits. Records reveal that she has allegedly used Thornton Township's credit cards for more trips, meals, and expenses, totaling over $67,000. Critics argue that these purchases, which include high-profile dinners and networking events, have little to do with township business and more to do with Henyard's public image. The spending has become a focal point for those questioning her priorities. Many believe these outings are nothing more than photo ops or opportunities for her to rub elbows with high-ranking officials and celebrities. But Henyard has defended her actions, stating that these trips are necessary for fostering connections and gaining resources for Dolton. As the township's financial situation worsens, residents remain skeptical, wondering if these supposed connections will ever yield real benefits for the community. With all the spending and alleged misuse of power, the scrutiny on Henyard's administration has only intensified. And now, federal authorities are involved. The FBI has reportedly launched an investigation into Henyard's administration, examining her spending in both Dolton and Thornton Township. Federal subpoenas have been issued, and the investigation is said to include Lightfoot's damning report on Dolton's financial struggles. For Henyard, this is a pivotal moment that could determine her future as a political figure. The investigation has created a sharp divide among Dolton's residents. Supporters of Henyard argue that the investigation is merely a smear campaign driven by political enemies. Her critics, on the other hand, hope the federal probe will finally bring transparency and accountability to Dolton's leadership. As if the financial troubles and federal investigation weren't enough, Henyard's personal life has also started to unravel publicly. Recently, her former landlord, Janetta Hull, filed an eviction lawsuit against Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. According to Hull, the couple hasn't paid rent since August, leaving her thousands of dollars short. Hull has described feeling betrayed, especially after considering Henyard a friend. Hull's story has resonated with many Dolton residents who feel similarly disillusioned. Here was someone who believed in Henyard's promises, only to be left with unpaid bills and broken promises. With eviction looming, Henyard's hold on her position appears increasingly precarious. Despite the mounting challenges, Henyard isn't backing down. She's pushing forward with her re-election campaign, framing the investigation and criticism as attacks by jealous political opponents. In her view, everything she does is for the benefit of Dolton's residents, and she remains defiant in the face of opposition. But as more residents question her motives, it's unclear whether her campaign will be able to gain the momentum it needs. So far, she's reportedly received limited funding, which could further hinder her chances. Critics argue that Henyard's leadership has done more harm than good, pointing to the debt, intimidation tactics, and questionable spending as signs of a power-hungry leader. As if to add fuel to the fire, reports have surfaced about Henyard allegedly targeting local businesses that refuse to support her financially. One such case involves Lawrence Gardner, a trucking business owner, who claims that after he stopped contributing to Henyard's campaign fund, his business license was abruptly revoked. Gardner has said he felt pressured to donate and believes that Dolton's leadership is being used to intimidate business owners who don't fall in line. Gardner's story echoes those of other business owners who say they've been targeted for refusing to play along. These accounts suggest that Henyard's influence extends well beyond just local government, affecting even the livelihoods of Dolton's business community. And there you have it, the dramatic rise in controversies surrounding Tiffany Henyard, Dolton's super mayor. With investigations underway, a re-election campaign on shaky ground, and a growing number of critics demanding change, Henyard's future is anything but certain. Will she hold on to her title, or will Dolton residents decide it's time for a new chapter? Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth coverage of political dramas and scandals from Red Rumbles. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay informed.